Samuel L. Jackson, Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas.
Samuel L. Jackson is one of the most well-known actors in Hollywood. He has an impressive resume with films and franchises such as Pulp Fiction, The Hateful Eight, Star Wars, and Marvel under his belt. So hearing his voice in a video game was surprising to say the least. The Grand Theft Auto franchise normally uses movie stars for the smallest of roles, whether it's Dennis Hopper, Burt Reynolds, or Pete Fonda. Not with Samuel. From the opening cutscene, you can tell Officer Tenpenny is corrupt, competent, and just flat out mean. His character is well written, but his delivery really sells the lines.
We can shit on you from such a height, you'll think God himself has crapped on you. You understand?
The whole storyline in San Andreas is worth playing through if you've never tried the game. So many iconic missions. Jackson doesn't play outright villains all that often, so Tenpenny sits in the prolific actor's filmography as a standout role, even if it's just a voice performance in a video game. Shout out to David Cross who voices Zero, just a stellar choice for the character, and David brings him to life.
Excuse me, but I never take drugs. We all know drugs are for losers and or sex maniacs, and right now, sex is the last thing on my mind.
Gary Oldman, Call of Duty.
This is step one!
Few characters in video games have been as powerful and influential as Victor Reznov, played by Gary Oldman, a famous actor who has been in a variety of projects that have become household names. The Dark Knight and Harry Potter are among his most notable contributions. Reznov is one of the few characters to stand out in COD story mode. He is determined to achieve his mission. With his tactical badassery landing him as a fan favorite, it is no wonder he has returned for 3 games as a featured character. Oldman breathes life into Reznov, with a sound that is so believable that he leaves his co-stars in the dust. Even though he must have cost a lot of money and time, it was well worth it given the result.
Do not stop shooting now!
Snoop Dogg, True Crime, Streets of LA.
Hey, beat it. Now.
Matthew Perry, Fallout, New Vegas.
Matthew Perry's role in Fallout was cemented thanks to talk show host Ellen DeGeneres. On April 24th, 2009, Perry appeared not only to promote 17 again, but he also gave Ellen an Xbox 360 system with a copy of the game.
That I injured my hand so severely that I had to go to a hand doctor and get injections in my hand because I love this video game so much. So the game is called Fallout 3, and
Do you know the game? They don't. They're just doing that.
Yeah.
Apparently, that act earned him the good graces of Bethesda and Obsidian, leading to his eventual casting as Rat Pack-esque character Benny. The game's narrative entails many moving parts, but the initial catalyst for the ensuing journey occurs when Benny, a post-apocalyptic mobster and head of the Chairmen, holds a carrier at gunpoint for a platinum chip on its way to the New Vegas Strip. While Matthew received a great deal of praise for his turn as Chandler Bing, even getting an Emmy nomination for it, he didn't quite get the same level of praise as Benny. Mostly this was because his voice was far too recognizable, and thus the suspension of disbelief was dropped.
We were east of Vegas when the first Securitron we ever saw rolled up on us. We junked it in a minute flat. The next day, 20 roll up.
Vin Diesel, The Wheelman.
Vin Diesel is an avid gamer and founded Tigon Studios in the early 2000s to develop titles that centered around him. This led to the Chronicles of Riddick, Escape from Butcher Bay, which is rightly considered one of the best movie licensed games of all time. Tigon was also behind Wheelman, an action racing game where Diesel loaned his voice and likeness to undercover CIA agent Milo Burek. The game was announced in 2006, alongside a Wheelman movie tie-in to be co-produced by Paramount and MTV Films. Diesel's Wheelman was set up to be the start of a new multimedia series, but after 3 years of delays on the game, his plan started crumbling. During the development of Wheelman, publisher Midway Games filed for bankruptcy, and it was clear from the final product that the game needed some extra polish, especially for the giant empty open world. The Wheelman game met with lukewarm reviews and wasn't quite the GTA competitor it was billed as. As for the plans to turn Wheelman into an action movie franchise, nothing further was heard following 2009. Considering Diesel became very busy with the Fast and Furious movies, and the Wheelman game didn't meet the warmest reception, presumably the movie was put on the back burner and in time was forgotten. Between Dom Toretto and Xander Cage, Diesel had enough action movies centered around heroes who love high-speed chases, so Wheelman fell by the wayside.
I just came in from Miami. I'm looking for a job.
What do you do, Milo from Miami?
I'm a wheelman.
Kristen Bell, Assassin's Creed.
Given how astronomically huge the Assassin's Creed franchise has gotten, it came from relatively humble beginnings, as it started out as a simple spiritual successor to Prince of Persia. However, that doesn't mean that the original game didn't have some phenomenal production value behind it. After earning major acting credits in Hollywood through rom-coms like Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Kristen Bell was a sought-after actor.
Rebecca's patched in a phone line. The Templars are still guarding the border, and Vidic seems to be busy.
Bell played Lucy Stillman, an assassin and companion to the protagonist. Instead, she played this character across the first 3 games in the Assassin's Creed saga. It's a wonder why Bell wasn't cast in the movie adaptation, as she's already held live-action roles in major movies. Bell's bubbly and exciting presence is exactly what the dull adaptation needed.
Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man 2.
The final selection on this list of major celebrities in video games is Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 2. While we all know that Tobey Maguire filled the shoes of the web-slinger in the film, it is less known that he also lent his likeness and voice to the movie game.
It was great seeing you and Harry again the other night.
Yeah. Anyway, I brought you the ticket for my play.
In fact, the main cast of the film is all present here. Kirsten Dunst plays Mary Jane Watson, and Alfred Molina plays Doc Ock. Spider-Man 2 is a beloved game. It follows the story of the film with some extra additions to help increase the game length. The game is fondly remembered for its authenticity to the movie, which is loved in its own right, although fans also recall that the Spider-Man 2 game features the deepest web-swinging mechanics from any game featuring the spider.
I'm really sorry, MJ. I really want to talk more. I'll call you.
Yeah. Sure.